Russian military says that the US carried out a deadly airstrike in Syria's Idlib province without first giving notice, thereby violating, quote, all agreements. Artist Murad Gaziev now joins me in the studio to talk more about this. Murad, some people might question why is Russia so angry here, because it seems the US has targeted a jihadi training camp, which on the face of it sounds like a good thing.
Well, just a little bit of background. Idlib had been a bitter battleground for many months now. The Syrian army against rebels, jihadists, the Syrian army coming out on top, taking a number of strategic towns. But throughout all of these months, the United States, Europe had been demanding, calling for a ceasefire. Yesterday at 6 o'clock in the morning, 31st of August, a ceasefire was unilaterally called by Syria. Its forces stopped everywhere, no more offensive maneuvers, its air force was grounded, a unilateral ceasefire backed by Russia, backed by Turkey. A few hours after the ceasefire took hold, the United States carried out a wave of airstrikes on Idlib, where it says it was targeting an al-Qaeda training camp. Russian intelligence, the Russian military, on the other hand, says what they hit was a number of settlements, populated areas, and left a lot of casualties.
There are multiple victims within populated areas that were targeted by the US airstrike. It was carried out in violation of all agreements, as Washington failed to inform Russia or Turkey about its intentions.
The United States was saying it was targeting al-Qaeda members who were a threat to US citizens, to allies, and to innocent civilians. But there's aside from the fact that they basically undermined the ceasefire, because the jihadists became confused. They started shooting at the Syrian army. The Syrian army didn't shoot back, the Russians say. But aside from that, there's also the fact that this was, the Russians say, very unprofessional, because there's a procedure in place. Whenever you carry out an airstrike in Syria, you warn Turkey, Russia, the United States, whoever. This is to avoid unnecessary escalations, risks in the air. The United States knew that there was a ceasefire taking hold just a few hours before, and it didn't inform either Russia or Turkey that it was going to carry out these airstrikes, which leaves both countries with a lot of questions.
Sure, OK. Thanks, Murad. That was artist Murad Gaziev there with the latest. Thank you. Well, Middle East expert Cengiz Tomar said that the US always uses terrorism as an excuse.
I think it's not related to, terrorists. We know that is in Idlib terrorists a long time they are there. But the timing is, I think, is very critical and very important. This is the Americans, if they need some terrorist organization to excuse their attitudes in Syria or in the Middle East, they can find some, because as they did in Manbij, they try to make longer these negotiations in order to put some hurdles in front of Turkey. That's why Turkey and Russia is now announcing that this is unacceptable, because there is no announcement, there is no agreement.